moves that you should be making in your 20s. And if you're not in your 20s, I'm sure there's value that you can get from this video as well, because there's a lot of it you can amend to wherever you are in your stage of life. And the thing about being in your 20s, you're young, you're healthy, you have your whole life ahead of you. And the money moves you make here can really set you up for life. All right, so let's break it down. I'm going to give you a couple of steps that you need to take, a couple of realizations that you need to make as well to make this, to set yourself up in your 20s. Because if you can do things right with your money, with your health, with your career, with your business, if you can do it right in your 20s, you're setting yourself up for a real life of prosperity. And the first thing I want you to realize, if you're in your 20s, that time in the market is more important than timing the market, and it's more important than how much of money you have in the market. In fact, in Instagram, I'm just going to read this post to you. I posted it last week sometime, and it was a graphic of the power of early investing. And in there, I did a couple of calculations. If you are 25 and you contribute 1,000 Rand a month to an investment from age 25 to age 35, that's a contribution during that 10-year period of 120,000 Rands. And if you stop at age 35, stop investing and just leave the money, keep it invested. If you look at it again, assuming a 10% growth rate, at age 65, you'd have just over 2 million Rands. However, if you start contributing 1,500 Rand a month from age 35 to age 65, your total contribution would now be 360,000 Rands. Okay. And when you look at that investment at age 65, it's just over 2 million Rands. Okay, it's less than what you would be getting if you had invested from age 25 to 35. So that example goes to show you how important it is for you to start investing early. Smaller amounts, if you start investing early enough, will give you a far greater impact than delaying investing to a later age. Okay, so go and check out that Instagram graphic. It's Financially Fabulous Females on Instagram, and you can check the calculation out, do it for yourself, and see if it makes sense. But if you're in your 20s, if you're in 30s and 40s, and if you need help with investing, please click the link where you're watching this video. Go to my website, it's financiallyfabulousfemales.com. Click the Get Started button, and we can chat one-on-one. The next thing that I would like you to consider when you're in your 20s is to protect your income. Now, traditionally, people in their 20s, they're just starting out, fresh graduate, first career, first job. You don't have much assets. Maybe you don't have much savings. If you got an inheritance or some kind of gift, great. But most of us in our 20s, we started with zero. And sometimes if you took a student loan, you're in the negative. But the one thing that you've got to do in your 20s is protect your income, because basically that's all you have. It's your income earning ability from now until retirement. That's what you need to be protecting. All right. And what do I mean by income protection is if anything physically can prevent you from earning an income, any sort of sickness, any sort of disease that prevents you from getting up, going to work to earn an income, you need to be compensated for that. Income protection and protecting your income is the modern way of financial planning. And if it's something that you don't already have, especially if you're somebody in your 30s, 40s, 50s, you need to look at getting this as well. All right. The next thing that you need to consider is buying back your time. And because you're young, hopefully you're young and you're healthy in your 20s, it's a great way to be productive in your 20s if you're able to buy back your time. And what do I mean by buying back your time? For me, I hate doing housework. I completely hate it. I have 3 kids, so you must know what the mission is like to keep this house clean. It's the absolute worst. But the thing is, I need a helper. All right. And the reason why I need a helper is not just because I hate cleaning, it's because of my productivity. Whatever, what I pay my helper for the day, I could just work 1 hour to make that up in order to pay her fees. So everything else after that is essentially profit on my end. Right? So think about buying back your time, not just with housework, Gardening, I mean, obviously, if you like gardening, you enjoy it, you find fun in that, you're going to go out and do it. But if there are tasks that you need to do that you hate doing and that are eating into your productivity, consider buying back your time. The next thing you got to do when you're in your 20s is not just live life, but you got to plan out your rest of your life. I think that's an important thing to do, especially if you know that eventually you're thinking along the lines of marriage, of kids. Those are things that you can plan for now. All right. Not to say that you're going to marry the person you're dating, but you know it's somewhere in your future, whether it's 5 years, 6 years, 10 years from now. You can start planning for it. You can start putting money away for it, because one, weddings are not cheap, and three children, I can tell you, it's not cheap to have children. So if you can put money away, and going back to the first point where we said, time in the market is more important than timing the market, all of that money, if you can start putting away small amounts of money away now for that future family, for your future spouse, for your future children, it just means that money is working harder for you. So when that time in your life comes, you don't have to be borrowing, you don't have to be on a tight budget, because you've planned early enough and you've gotten some momentum and some compound returns on that kind of investment. Another thing I think this is for me the most important thing. I want you to understand in your 20s, and if you unfortunately a little bit older and don't understand this already, is that success is not just measured in monetary terms. If you're following my channel for a while, you should check out this video, or if you're new to my channel, check out this video series that I have from Daniel Lapin. He is a rabbi that really dishes out some great ancient wisdom on life, on building wealth and building business. And one of the philosophies that he teaches is the 5 F's. And by 5 F's, he means family, faith, finances, fitness, and friendships. You've got to have a balance in all 5 of the F's. Because imagine if you had finances, you had family, but your fitness and health were nowhere. I mean, there's no balance in that. Or if you had finances, but you're estranged from your family, you don't have quality friendships with to help you really enjoy life and get that human connection. You can't really measure success with money, success with wealth. You got to have a nice, full, well balanced life, and that's important to understand in your 20s. So I hope you got value from this video. Please, if you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel to learn more about financial concepts, but also finance from a South African perspective as well. So you have a great day, and we'll chat soon.